Let me get, okay. I was muted. Assalamu alaikum, brothers and sisters. Let me get the light situation going. It's kind of not like lit in here, so hold on just a second. All right, brothers and sisters, here we go. Here we go. So here's the news report. Y'all see this guy right here? He is a gay Qadiani politician in the UK, Imran Ahmad Khan. He is probably going to lose his job. He's a politician in the UK. He was elected. Here's 2019. They were celebrating this. He has been accused of sexually assaulting a 15-year-old boy in 2008, which is sort of what the Qadianis do, honestly. And I'm going to post this in the YouTube. Sorry for the lighting situation. I have no idea why it's not why the lighting is not so good today. But okay, so I just posted the StreamYard link. This guy is being accused of sexually assaulting a 15-year-old. It's all over the news. This is what the Qadianis do. They sexually assault boys, not necessarily women. And, you know, both are equally bad. You know, and this goes back to, this is what they've been taught by their Khalifa, by Mirza Ghulam Ahmad. This is all taught behavior. All right, so I'm going to show you some more pictures. Yep, it's this guy. Yep. Yep. Let me show you another one. Oh, look, Ahmadiyya movement. He's you know he's with him. You know he's with him. And then here's another one. Yep. Okay, and let me add my bro in here. So, assalamu alaikum, brother. How's it going? Can't hear you, brother. I just unmuted him. I guess he was muted. There is no love for all, hatred for none. That is a lie. That is for sure. And you've muted yourself, brother. So let me just remove him really quick. I don't know exactly who that is, but yeah. So I'm just gonna go over the story. This homosexuality situation with the Qadianis, it goes deep. It goes deep. Zafrullah Khan himself was gay, and you know the problem that I have is the raping of the young boys. If you're gay, bro, be gay, bro. You know what I mean? I know a lot of these guys are already gay, so do whatever you do. Leave me out of it. Leave me and mine out of it. Especially don't come around my kids, because I know some of you have this tendency, especially the Ahmadis. So the story's all over the news. And yeah, so I'm going to share the screen really quick and prove that he grew up with Zafrullah Khan, and he was probably raped by Zafrullah Khan. That's probably the story. And, you know, he's a legacy of that. So let me just share the screen here. And I'm going to show this quick video of him admitting that he grew up with Zafrullah Khan. So there that goes. Share the screen, and here he says it.
Stronger, not weaker. And the Jinnah's lieutenant was Sir Chowdhury Muhammad Zafrullah Khan, with whom I grew up and had a very close relationship. Jinnah's lieutenant was Sir Chowdhury Muhammad Zafrullah Khan, with whom I grew up and had a very close relationship. Jinnah's lieutenant was Sir Chowdhury Muhammad Zafrullah Khan, with whom I grew up and had a very close relationship. Jinnah's lieutenant was Sir Chowdhury Muhammad Zafrullah Khan, with whom I grew up and had a very close relationship.
Okay, so there it is. This is a legacy. Oh, yeah, a close relationship. Yeah. So, you want me? Can I bring you on?
Walaikum.
Walaikum salam ji, Qadian ji.
Haji, how we doing? All right.
Doing good, brother. Doing good. Just I'm covering this story. Here's the guy.
Yeah, that's him.
Yep. Yep.
Imran Ahmad Khan from Wakefield, an MP here in the UK. That's the guy. That's the guy we broke when he became MP. It was leaked that he was gay, and then they backtracked and said he wasn't.
Right.
But he never actually officially came out and renounced it. So, and obviously today we've got all these. I mean, he's been charged for historic sexual abuse allegations, or I mean, it goes back to 2008. So. A 15-year-old boy. So yeah, it's all blown up in the media. It's all over Sky, BBC. It's all over. So let's see what happens, because as you know, my brother, they were very quick to claim him as one of theirs when he became an MP. Obviously, they've got him. They've got Lord Tariq Ahmed, who sits in the House of Lords. Who's not actually a member of, I mean, he sits in the House of Lords. He's got a peerage. So they were quick to claim him. Rabwah Times had him plastered all over their propaganda site, that, for first Ahmadi, blah, 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 how it goes. So let's see what they come up with now. I should imagine they're going to throw him under the bus very, very quickly.
It seems like it. And what about his brother?
Not too sure, because to be honest with you, not really delved too much into his past or anything like that, because he sort of won the election and then did this thing on. Well, he spoke against Ahmadi persecution in the House of Parliament, and that's really about it. So obviously the jamaat's had his voice heard, in a quite a lengthy sort of a discussion on Ahmadiyya persecution, and basically, they've got their point across, via an MP. So for them, it's a win-win. But now I'd like to see them back this guy up.
Yeah, and I just put a. I'm sorry to interrupt. I just put a picture of his brother on the screen right there. So.
Yeah, to be quite honest with you, my brother, I think these guys live like Buddhas anyway. They're not really. I wouldn't say they're probably adherent to Ahmadiyya. I would probably more likely say, yeah, they claim that they when it suits them, they're probably Ahmadis, yeah. And when it obviously, how Ahmadis are like, if the Khalifa turns around and says you can eat McDonald's, well, we don't eat McDonald's in the UK, bro. We know it's haram.
Right. When
you cook bacon, pork, bacon, and chicken in one place in the same fryer,
it's just like eating pork biscuits, right?
Yeah. And if you ask anybody, any Muslim, would you go to a pork butcher's to buy halal meat? It could be halal meat. You wouldn't, would you? So you wouldn't go into a non-halal restaurant which is serving bacon, ham, pork, and frying it in the same deep fat fryer, where you're going to get your sandwich, whatever it is you're getting. So. And that was the Khalifa telling his young kids to happily go and eat McDonald's. But then again, we know about Mirza Sahib, who used to like the Valati biscuit.
Biscuit layer, tonic wine layer, a few layer, battery.
We had Valati biscuit, all the way from London. We had tonic wine from Plumas. We had a theme from Afghanistan.
Local. It was local.
Yeah, and probably drink bung or whatever it was. So these guys were sort of at it. So, but yeah, I mean this has all just come out. I haven't seen anybody respond to it as of yet. So.
Yeah. So here's a question for you. Do you think these guys ended up becoming gay because they ate pork, per the Ahmadiyya theory?
no, brother. Pork's got nothing to do with being gay. That's just it's. So that means anybody in say Pakistan or say for argument, look, we know that there are gay people who are Muslims. Yeah, we know that. So in Pakistan, you have gays. You have gays in probably Saudi Arabia, but it doesn't. They don't eat pork. I mean, that's just stupidity, really. Where pork ties in with being gay, I don't know. How you could link it with diseases, parasites. It has parasites in it, and you could link it to diseases. Hypertension is one thing that people who eat swine, they've got a lot of hypertension. So it's. I mean, I think the so-called caliph of Ahmadiyya just says whatever's written down for him.
Right.
I mean, he doesn't know what he's reading. He's just reading. He's not absorbing he's not actually pre-read and understood what he's reading. He just gets it put in front of him, and that's it. I mean, how on earth they can pass him off as any kind of a spiritual leader? I mean, if he's a spiritual leader, I'll claim to be the Dalai Lama.
Right.
So, but it's we'll see what happens in the next couple of days. I mean, he's vehemently denying, pleading his innocent, which obviously you would do. Doesn't matter whether you're guilty or not. But I think he's been charged. So I think there's an investigation, and he's actually been charged. And historic sex abuse cases in the UK, especially in northern towns where, like he comes from, it's a bit of a touchy, delicate subject, because we've had, I don't know if you've heard about it or not, we've had Pakistani grooming gangs, guys who've been sort of grooming young girls and stuff like that, and plying them with drink, drugs, and the whole thing. So it's not going to go down very well. This isn't, But to all intents and purposes, it doesn't really matter to whoever it is that he's Ahmadi or not. They're going to basically say he's a Muslim, really,
Right.
So him being Ahmadi really isn't really going to come into it as far as the wider public in the UK is concerned. He'll be labelled as a Muslim MP. When it starts sort of, if it does go to court and he's found guilty and he has to do a prison stretch, or resign from the office or whatever. I mean, that's another thing that's going to be sort of on his back now. You see, people are going to be sort of his fellow colleagues, MPs, the Tory party, the whip might be withdrawn from him, which means he might have to resign. So it's he's going to be feeling the pressure, man. He's going to be feeling the pressure. They're going to be on him, because this is bringing the whole Conservative Party into disrepute.
Right.
And so it's going to be sort of for him, he's going to be under a lot of pressure. So we'll see how this pans out. I think to start with, they always sort of seem to back the person up, but I mean, if he gets found guilty, he's definitely going to be looking on a custodial sentence. But what we're interested in is how Jamaat reacts, how the trolls on Twitter, how these trolls on social media, all these chumchi of Jamaat, we want to see how they react. Because God forbid, Allah forbid, if this was a Muslim,
Right. They'd be all over it. They'd be saying, oh, look how the Muslim community is divided.
Yeah.
and et cetera, which they don't understand. We're in democracy where the diversity is what these people are wanting to do. They want to split everyone up. And we're all wrapped up into this thing where everyone's different. We're not one anymore. So So hey, I'm getting comments that no Qadianis yet. It's been 2-3 hours, nothing.
Well, if Qadianis are living in this world, in this realm that we're living in, and they switch their televisions on and would like to turn to, I'm sure they look at the news. I'm sure they're not watching MTA 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. I'm sure they live in the real world. If you switch your television on at the moment, Basheer, in this country, if you switch your television on in this country, it's breaking news. That's it. BBC,
yeah, it's all over the news. Yeah,
BBC, Sky News, even every major newspaper's covered it already. So if you go onto the internet, if you just type in his name in Google, you'll come up. There's a list. There's a whole list of different outlets that are reporting it. So he's all over, bro. He's all over it. So
yeah, and I retweeted a whole bunch of tweets, but there's so many. There's like there's more than 200 tweets on this already.
Yeah.
I couldn't retweet them all.
Yeah. Now I should imagine that whatever happens with this, it's basically he's actually now going to be labeled with whatever whatever the outcome is, whenever this happens. Obviously, this is going to go to court, or if he has been charged with sexual assault, then he's going to have to go to court and prove his innocence, right?
Right.
Now that may take that. I mean, we don't know how long this has been going on for, because obviously these are historic. This is one boy. Maybe more will come out.
Maybe the people in Jamia will finally come out and say, because from what I've heard, and I know some ex-Murabbis, they're saying in Jamia it's a whole culture. This is just what they do, which brings me to my first question. Does this come from Mirza Masroor Ahmad? Is he and the boys in there in Tilford in that 40 million pound facility? Are they, all about touching each other and all of that?
Well, it takes all sorts, as they say. So, I mean, to be quite honest with you, it's until one or two come out and actually have the courage to report this, then you'll see floods. But I mean, for this guy to say that he grew up with Zafrullah Khan, that can't be right. He may, because this guy was born in the mid-70s, yeah, or early 70s, yeah. I mean,
in 77, he was born in 77. Zafrullah Khan died like 10 years later. Let me double check.
Yeah, so
as a really young boy.
So what he meant to, I mean, it could be that Zafrullah Khan may, I mean, for him to say that he grew up with Zafrullah Khan, that's just a blatant, outright lie.
Yeah, he would have been only 8 years old. Yeah.
So it may be true that he was, may well be true that he basically, Zafrullah Khan might have been a good family friend, and he remembers seeing him when he was 5-6 years old. But to say that he grew up with him, I mean, that's just a blatant lie. That can't be true. And now we have here
what if as a 6-7-year-old boy,
Razi
what if as a small boy, Zafrullah Khan was touching him? It's possible. What if what Razi does with Khalifa, he was doing with Zafrullah Khan?
Well, it can be quite easily. It can be possible. There's because at the end of the day, you see, people in those sorts of positions, especially in Pakistan, especially with somebody like Zafrullah's position, he would never be questioned.
Never. And Zafrullah Khan only had one kid. He had like just one wife. Not really, Mirza had 10 children and he was diabetic. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He was telling me this guy's got one kid. He's a billionaire. He's got so much money. Why is he not trying to leave a legacy?
Yeah. Well,
So okay, which takes me, okay. Do you think Razi, because Razi grew up in the Ahmadiyya Abode of Peace building, do you think he was raped? I mean, you know, and that's why he's in this thing, and he can't come out of it, because then you lose everything, you know. Even Damon Stengel, you know, that they might be cupcaking secretly. You know?
Um,
We don't
well,
know.
we don't know, because anything's possible. You know, anything's possible.
Yep, yep. So okay, which takes me to his brother. Didn't his brother marry Mirza Tahir daughter, and they had a public divorce?
Um, yeah, he. Which one did he actually marry? Because it was married to one of them. I can't remember which one it was.
I thought it was Mona. And there's
Sorry.
a video. I thought it was Mona, the third daughter.
Yeah, yeah. It wasn't the youngest one, because she was married in the family. So, yeah, it was probably the second one. Yeah. And that all ended up in
yeah, the
divorce,
third
didn't
one.
it?
Yeah, there's that
Yeah.
video. I'm looking for it now, where you know, he was mad everyone was talking about it. So here, let me share the screen and show it. But Mirza Tahir Ahmad knew that this family was important. So what does he do? He look, can you see it?
No, I've got you've got the picture of Razi bending over to kiss his Khalifa's hand.
Oh, I thought I was sharing the screen. Maybe it takes a second to kick in. Well, I just showed it. Yeah, his brother was married. I think his brother has had multiple wives or something like that. But hey, we got another brother in here. Let's add him and see who this is. Assalamu alaikum, brother. Are you there?
Yeah, I can hear
Walaikum
you, bro.
assalam wa rahmatullah.
Assalamu alaikum, brother. Assalamu alaikum. Welcome, welcome.
Walaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Well, so as you know, we're discussing this story that's breaking all across the UK. A famous Qadiani-Ahmadi who's also gay. He groped a 15-year-old kid. How does that even happen? How do you just walk up to a oh, and he's okay. The other guy left. Do you know about the story, brother?
I don't know about that story yet.
Okay, well, it's definitely breaking. His brother is also a politician. Let me show you his brother. He married Mirza Tahir Ahmad's daughter, and they famously divorced. And you know, we're talking about the history of sexual abuse in the Qadiani community. Everyone should be worried about this, especially if their kids are going there. This goes back to Mirza Masroor Ahmad, who him and his close Murabbis probably sleeping together in Tilford, right? It goes back to Mirza Tahir Ahmad. It goes back to Zafrullah Khan. We think Zafrullah Khan might have been raping this kid when he was 6, 7 years old, and that's what caused him to be who he is. And if you didn't know, the second Khalifa was charged of raping boys a lot at Qadian. Oh my God, the allegations are off the chart. There's over 20, 30 allegations. And Nuruddin once said it was okay. He famously said it was okay for men to touch on men. And we all know Mirza Ghulam Ahmad had men in his private quarters, you know, cleaning his legs and massaging his legs for him all the time. So that's the story, brother. What do you have to say? Oh, and he's gone. Okay. Okay, so I try to make these videos short, sweet, and to the point. Yeah, Muslims probably thought he was Muslim and didn't know what the story was, and probably voted for this guy. So that's our job, is to show that that's simply not the case. We think so. We think it was in their family. They're all like that. They all get married for procreation, but that's what they do. And I wanted to show a recent scandal right? So let me share the screen. Let me just show. I just want to show how rampant this is, right? What you see here, Munibur Rahman Ahmad, he did sort of the same thing, right? In 2010, in 2011. So this is an ongoing pending case, and yeah, ladies and gentlemen, with that being said, I always try to do quick videos, so that's all I have. We're at about 25 minutes. Hit the blog for the essay with the detailed information, and that's it. That's all I got. Assalamu alaikum and peace out.